Hi everyone, you're welcome to another interesting pattern drafting tutorial. On today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to cut this beautiful monostrap ruched flay dress. If this sounds like what you've been interested in, then you have to stick around till the end. It's been a while because I have been very busy lately, but now I am fully back. Okay, so to make this dress, I started by folding my paper just as you can see, and I drew a line. The line is just a starting point, nothing serious. So I had to take my neckline 3 by 3 and then connected with my armhole curve. Now the next is to take your shoulder measurement divided by 2 and rule your vertical line like this. So after that, you drop your shoulder slope by 1 inch and connect to the neckline, just like so. So the next is to take your bust measurement divided by 4 and take the measurement and rule a vertical line right there. Now, after that, we are going to take the front half length and the bust level, okay? So this is the bust level and the front half length, just as you can see. So I'll go ahead and take it at another point, bust level and front half length, and then rule my horizontal lines across, just like this. So after doing this, the next is to go ahead and take and write down what those lines depict, okay? Bust and waist. Now this is your bust to bust measurement divided by 2, and I just took ½ inch on both sides of that one on the waistline. So I dropped the bust point by 1 inch and I'm connecting my dart to that 1 inch drop, just as you can see right here. So here is the difference between the front and the back half length, which is 1.5, and I'm connecting to the bust point. Now that forms the side bust dart. So after that, I will go ahead and draw the armhole. Drop here by 5 inches and then go in by 3/4 and use that to draw your armhole measurement divided by 2. Go ahead and take your measurements and draw with the armhole curve. Okay, so after that, I will go ahead and take the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch dart intake. So that is what I marked, and I'll connect to the bust measurement just by the side like this. So after that, the next will be to take care of the neckline. So you just have to drop the neckline the way you feel comfortable with. Okay, so I dropped here by about 4.5 inches and I'm connecting to the armhole like this. So just watch closely to see what I am doing. Aside what I am doing, also pay attention. Aside what I'm saying, pay attention to what I'm doing. So here I marked a line and took ½ inch on both sides of that line and I'm connecting like this. Yes, this is to more like taking care of the contour of the strapless part. You know, it's a monostrap dress. Yes, this contouring will take care of the gape so that the neckline will not be slacky or saggy. Okay, so after that, just go ahead and cut out your pattern. You will understand what I'll be using that over bust tightening there for is mainly for contour, not like a bustier. I hope this makes sense. So after that, I had to go in here by 1 inch and then I connected to the rest of the neckline that I drew earlier. Okay, so and this is what I have at the stage, just as you can see. So now you just have to place your paper like this and extend the shoulder if you want. Please, this is optional. Even in the picture is not extended, but I had to do this just in case you want the sleeve of your own to come down more like a kimono or a T extended, you know, kind of shoulder. So that is what I am doing here. You can add 2 inches, 3 inches, just as you please. Okay, this is how you can extend it and then go ahead and connect the rest of the armhole. You can as well leave it as a sleeveless if that is what you prefer. It's absolutely fine. This is just for reference purpose, just in case you want to alter it a bit and make it longer or more covered. It depends. Okay, so after that, you can see what I did. I had to cut it out. So this is what we have at the stage. But if you don't want it, please leave it as armhole, as sleeveless, sorry. So where I shaded will be going off at the end of this tutorial. So watch closely what I am going to do right now. Watch, pay close attention to what I'm doing. Because if you don't do these things, you're not going to get the perfect fit you need for this dress, trust me. So I'm tracing my darts. I'm tracing it. I don't need the over bust tightening the other side. That is why I did not trace it. So I just traced the side bust dart and the waist dart. So after that, this is what I have. I'm going ahead to draw it. So I'm following the tracing of the tracing wheel to draw out my dart. So it's as simple as that, nothing serious, okay? I'm just duplicating what I have on the opposite side of the pattern. So after that, this is what I have, and yeah. So you can see how I'm connecting the bust point to the shoulder. Watch closely because I want to use it and close the side bust dart. So I'm also connecting the bust point here to the shoulder. Now, when you close this side bust dart, it's definitely going to, open up on the shoulder. That is the essence. So I took away my dart from the side. The waistline dart, I transferred it to the side. So that is what I did here. So the one I will be transferring to the shoulder is the side bust. But for the waistline dart, I transferred it to the side, just as you can see. Please do these things because they are very important to give you that perfect fit on your dress. So after cutting out the dart, 1 inch on both sides of this waist, that means the dart has been cancelled. The waistline dart is out right now. So right now I'm going to go ahead and open up the shoulder line so that I can close up the side bust dart. Pay close attention. Now this will transfer the fit of the bust that the side bust dart is going to give, is going to transfer it to the shoulder. So that is what I have here, and I've transferred it to the shoulder, and you can see the results. So go ahead and cut this one like this as well. And I'm cutting out the neck. That is what I'm doing here because I don't need this part. This is a monostrap, okay? So go ahead and close up this tightening. Yes. So now this is the essence of this tightening so that this neckline does not give for any reason, okay? So I close it up and the neckline is going to be perfect. Don't worry about the shape of the pattern. Everything is going to form by the time you put your rope or your ruched, the rope for your ruching on the shoulder and ruch the shoulder. Everything will just come out perfectly. Trust me. Follow this pattern and you will come back and thank me for dishing out this invaluable tutorial. Okay, so after that you can see what I have, and I am going to go ahead and use this and draw out the second pattern. Okay, because we are not going to leave out our pattern like divided like this, so I want to just place it on a paper and carve out the final pattern. For the front, we've not drafted the back, so pay close attention to what I'm doing. I had to pin it down and then go ahead and trace out the shoulder. Watch closely to see how I am tracing the shoulder. So if you want to get a perfect result for this monostrap gown or dress, make sure you follow the steps I am giving here. All you have to do is to put your seam allowances while cutting on fabric and go ahead and put your clothes together and you will get a perfect fit. Trust me, you get a perfect fit. So right now I've traced out the shoulder the way I want it and I'll just go ahead and cut out. If you follow my style, you will definitely not have any issues with your pattern. Take my words for it, okay? So right here, you can see what I have. When you ruch your shoulder, everything is going to come out nice. Just as I said earlier, if you don't want the extension of the shoulder line, you can go ahead and leave it as sleeveless. It's just for those that want it to be extended a bit beyond the shoulder tip. Okay, so right now I'm drafting the back pattern just exactly what I did for the front. Drafted the neckline. I'm taking the armhole measurement, the shoulder measurement divided by 2 at 2 points, and I drew my vertical line. Now this is the shoulder slope of 1 inch and I connect that to my neckline. So the next is your bust measurement divided by 4. You're going to go ahead and mark it at least 2 points to get a straight line, and you draw your straight vertical line. After that, the next is to go ahead and take the front half length, the back half length, sorry. Now, this is supposed to be the back half length, but what I took here is the front half length. Is a mistake, and you're going to see me correct it. I intentionally did not cut out this part so that you know that this is possible, and you have to be very, very careful while drafting patterns so that you don't get something different at the end of the day and you'll be wondering, where did it come from? Okay, so now this is the armhole measurement divided by 2, and I am using it to draw my armhole. Note that I first dropped it by 5 inches and went in by ½ inch before drawing my armhole. So right here is the back tightening of ½ inch or 3/4 as you please, and from there I had to mark my dart intake of 1 inch. So what I'm just doing here is to get where I will be drawing my dart to. Okay, So right here, I will go ahead and draw my dart, just as you can see. Aside what I'm saying, pay attention to what I'm doing and you're going to get a perfect result. So after that, this is what I have, and I had to go up. Now this is where I realized that I made a mistake on the half length, so I had to correct it at once. Okay, so I had to go up by 1.5 inches because that's the difference between the front and back half length. So I just had to impute my measurements again. So that is all I did here. I had to repeat what I did earlier on this new level, which is the correct half length for the back. Okay, so I had to clean up the previous dart. Now this is the waist measurement divided by 4, which I took the measurement from the back tightening point mark. Okay, here. So this is the back tightening. So after that, the next thing to do is to go ahead and fold up my paper like this, because I want to get it to double of this pattern. So pay close attention to see what I am doing here. So after folding it like this, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. If you've not subscribed to my channel at this stage, what are you waiting for? Okay, so this is me extending the shoulder just as I did in front. Okay, I just extended the shoulder, but if you don't want it extended, please omit this part and leave it to be at your shoulder tip. Is optional. Okay, this is just me explaining further. So here I had to drop the neckline just as I did with the front, and that is why I use the depth of basic front neckline, because I know I was going to drop it further. I want to get sort of uniformity, okay, on this back, more like let what I have at the back be similar to what I have in front. So, and this is me cutting it out, and this is what I have. I'm going to now stick it together and complete the neckline drawing. Note that when you are cutting it on fabric, please be very careful so that you don't cut front on the right and cut back at the left. Please pay close attention to this, because this is a monostrap dress and such mistake is very, very likely. So now you can see me connect to that neckline mark just as I did in front. I went in by 1 inch and connected to the rest of the neckline. So this is me cutting out this part because I don't need it anymore. So after that, I am going to extend that. Yes, I'm going to extend it so that I will take out 1/4 inch at this part of the pattern. Because of the monostrap, I had to take care of contour so that the back does not gape. Please, if you want your pattern to have a zipper at the back, this is what you're going to do. You're going to cut through the zipper line. But if you don't want a zipper, like you're using a lycra fabric or a stretchy fabric, you can close up the zipper. So this is me, drawing out the dart. You can as well fold it up and use your tracing wheel to draw what you have on this side, on this other side. But I just decided to draft out my dart straight, and this is what I have. I shaded where the dart is. So after this is what it is, and I'm going to tape down the zipper. But if you want a zipper to be here, more like you're using an Ankara to make the style, or a fabric that is not stretchy, please, it will definitely need a zipper, and you don't need to tape this down. All you have to do is to put your zipper allowance at this appropriate position, and you will be fine. Yes, you'll be fine. So after this is what I have. And yeah. So what is used on the dress that we are trying to copy looks like a lycra fabric because it doesn't have a zipper, but you can as well replicate it on Ankara, but you definitely put a zipper so that it will be wearable. Okay, so after this, you can see how I am connecting this dart. I'm connecting this line to the dart and connecting back to the shoulder, and you can see this dart here. I'm connecting back to the shoulder as well. The two darts are connected to the shoulder just as I did in front, but the difference is that in front I connected it to the side bust dart, but this one I connected it to the waist dart. Yes, so that when we close the waist dart, is going to help us open up the shoulder. And any other thing remaining, because I'm going to match it with the front, we are going to add it. So watch closely and you'll understand everything I'm doing. So the pattern that you can see here, the final pattern, all you need is to add your seam allowances all through and you're good to go. You just go ahead and stitch it together and your dress is ready. Okay, So after closing it up, you can see that the shoulder is opened already for the ruche. So now I had to place it on a fresh paper, just as you can see right here. I placed on a fresh paper, and I'm going to use the front to match out this back to ensure that what we have on the shoulder is the same for front and back. So that is all I did here. You place it, match the armhole, match the shoulder, and try to trace in a way that the front and the back are the same, because you need equal amounts so that the ruche will be uniform. Ensure to follow the steps, because this is what is going to give you a perfect fit. Don't say it's too much, because at the end of the day, this is going to give you a perfect fit than when you try to maneuver, take shortcuts and end up with something that you would definitely not like the fit. Okay, so right here I am connecting the neckline, just as you can see, and then I drew the armhole as well. Just don't consider the curve of the waistline. By the time we reach the shoulder, this waistline, this part now that is looking curved, is definitely going to come out nice. By the time the shoulder is ruched, you will see that that waistline is not curved. So all this that you're seeing here is as a result of the pattern alteration, which is going to fall back into shape by the time we ruch the shoulder. So this is me cutting this out. I intentionally cut it slowly. I didn't fast forward this area so that you see exactly what I am doing. And yes, I had to remove this part because I don't need it anymore. So you see, after ruching the shoulder, you can see the waistline is straight now. So that is what I am trying to explain. So after this, I'm going to keep this shoulder line like this. Of course, this is front and that is back. So I'm going to try and ruch it and tape it down with my tape. Of course, when you are sewing it, you put seam allowance there, stitch it down and create a channel for the lacing that will form the ruche. Okay, on that ruche area you can put seam allowance of 3/4 inch, not half, 3/4, so that it will be enough to pass the lacing that will form the ruche. So after that, I am going to go ahead and measure the waistline. So you're going to take waistline measurement, and here is the hip level and hip measurement divided by 4. So this is the length of the flay. So take your desired flay length. So we go back to the waist and connect to the hip and then connect to the hem of the dress. Note that the waistline is that front waistline divided by 2. That is what I used, because this is more like quarter of the waist, quarter of the skirt measurement. Okay, this is half of the front skirt. So you can see what I did here. I curved a little by that side upward by ½ inch. Okay, that ½ inch I got it by measuring the length at the center front and getting the seam length by the side. Okay, that's what gave us that curve. So just go ahead and draw your slash lines, just as you can see, and then we are going to form our flay. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments and I will willingly respond to your questions. Okay, if you have any questions about how to put this clothes together, you can ask me in the comments and I will be replying to them. So right here is the flay that I want to slash and spread. Right now I've slashed it, I want to spread it. So place your fabric or your pattern paper on fold and then spread. Yes, if you are using fabric, this is where would have placed, would have placed the slashed pattern on the fabric and then go ahead and spread. Then add our seam allowances and go ahead and cut out. But this time around we are using paper because this is a paper illustration. Okay, so this is a seamless pattern. So when you're cutting on fabric, you definitely add seam to all of what I did here. These are patterns without seam allowances. That's why I said it's a seamless pattern. There is no allowance for seam or for sewing. So now you can see what the flay looks like at the end of the day. And by the time we ruch here, this is what the shoulder is going to look like. So I'm going to use my masking tape and hold down that shoulder. to be in a ruched form so that it will take care of the ruche effect. And you can see what we have. So like this, we have our front and the back upper for the monostrap dress, and we also have the flea. But the next step is to create what we need on the flea. Okay, but before then, I'm going to show you, just as I'm doing now, how the flea is going to fit on the dress. So this is what it's going to look like. All I'm going to show you next is how you can form a ruche on the skirt, because this is very, very important. So matching it with the front, this is what it looks like. And if we also match with the back, this is what it looks like. So just go ahead and ruche your shoulder, just as I did for the front. I will go ahead and ruche it as well. So I'll ruche it. So when you're sewing, you're going to stitch these two together. I said while cutting, ensure that the front shoulder is on the left if it's on the left, and the back shoulder is on the left as well. If you want to put it on the right, ensure that if it's on the right, also cut the back at the right. Don't make that mistake. So this is how you're going to join it on the shoulder, turn the neckline, join the sides, and then you join your flea. So having said all of this, I am going to go ahead and show you how you can form the ruche on the skirt. Please be very, very attentive. So this is what I have. This is the complete pattern set. And now I'm going to show you how to form the ruche. So if you want to form your ruche, this is like a piece of fabric weaved on both sides. You're going to stitch it one line here, one line at the middle, and one line on the other side, so that two lacing can pass. Okay, yes. So you're going to stitch up and ensure that the lacing passes through the two channels you're going to create with this. It can be in front or it can be behind. That's, it can be inside or outside. If it's inside, just stitch it there, pass your rope. When you tie it, the rope will be inside, but the ruche effect will show on the outside like this. You can as well do it on the outside if that is what you prefer, but the lacing will be showing on the outside and form this kind of ruche. But I think from the picture, I think it's on the inside. Just watch closely or decide the one you prefer. If you want it to be inside, if you want it to be outside, it's all fine and beautiful. So this is what we got. This is what I got at the end of the day. Try it, cut it with your seam allowances, go ahead and put it together. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments and I will willingly respond to them. This is so beautiful and I know it is going to come out perfect. Just follow the whole steps I took in this tutorial and you're going to get a perfect result. So this is what I got at the end of the day. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for always stopping by to watch my videos. I do not take it for granted. I love you all, and of course, I will see you in my next video. Bye.